Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And it's that time again. It's time.
Yep.
Time for your daily dose of Dismal Disney.
40.
And we're going to talk about Sandra Kuba, who was the Disney whistleblower.
Right.
Who went to the SEC. She's a senior financial analyst at Disney.
She was.
And she said there's some shenanigans going on in the books.
Mm-hmm.
And that was about 2 years ago. And then the story kind of disappeared.
Well, what we heard about 2 years ago. Apparently she reported it in 2017.
Yeah. And she was let go later that year.
Yeah, she had been there 18 years. And then I guess when she was on medical leave, after she was telling people what was going on, they weren't listening to her. We'll talk about that in a bit. She went to the SEC and did a whistleblower complaint. She came back apparently from her medical leave and then the next month and was fired. But it's not related according to Disney.
Yeah, of course not. Of course not. So now she's filed a lawsuit against the Walt Disney Company.
Yeah, Tuesday.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about this, whether or not this is going to open up the books on Disney's alleged cooking of the books. I don't know, because Disney and the SEC will not comment on the situation.
Right. People like us have been bringing it up repeatedly and asking, where the heck did it go? Where has it gone? Well, here we go.
Down,
not going away.
Down Mickey's memory hole or up Mickey's memory hole, wherever you prefer. So we're going to talk about all that. Before we get into it, please subscribe if you haven't done so already. For more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys, we're over 177,000 subs. Hoping for 200,000 soon. We do talk a lot about Disney because we worked in and around Disney for a number of years.
I'm wearing a Disney shirt right now.
I know, right?
I'm wearing a Haunted Mansion shirt. It glows in the dark.
How very dare you,
I know, right?
Disney hater.
I know.
And, we know kind of how the company works. We have, different divisions of the company. We have some familiarity there. We got some friends that still work there. And the company has definitely changed. Let's to put that mildly. We also talk about animation, movies, video games, whatever interests us. So there you go, guys. That's the spiel. Thank you. And yeah, you put this article up on piratesandprincesses.net today.
Yes. Okay, so let me take it.
Yeah,
okay.
Go ahead.
So, Sandra Kuba is the one who filed this lawsuit, and we heard about it because the SEC were supposed to be looking into it, and then SEC was looking into it, and then you didn't hear anything. It just disappeared.
No.
Okay, so apparently she filed this in 2017. And I mentioned that we weren't the only ones complaining about it because Market Watch had reached out back then for a comment, didn't get one.
No.
The Orlando Sentinel who's been reporting on this today. They reached out for a comment, and they said the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission declined to comment Wednesday when the Orlando Sentinel asked for the outcome of her complaint back in 2017 that no one ever has heard. It was in all the media, but whatever happened, they're not letting us know.
Yeah, what's really interesting too is that Disney has restructured recently. Now, I don't know if that would have any impact on...
I don't think that would have an impact, but I do know they have SEC filings, and they're always filing back and forth SEC and Disney all the time.
Yeah, I mean, look, when you're a big company like that, you can hide things pretty easily. But as she stated, she basically said that they were kind of double dipping, I guess, on perks.
Yeah, here I have it right here. Okay. She said she indicated she noticed the employees in the parks and resorts segment, which is interesting because a couple years ago, the parks and resorts segment was kind of shifted around. Anyway. Yeah. That they systematically overstated revenue by billions of dollars by exploiting weaknesses in the company's accounting software.
Yes.
Okay. They even more specifically, the whistleblower filings for the SEC outlined ways that she said they had boosted revenue, including recording fictitious revenue for complimentary golf rounds, free guest promotions. They said that they, did $500 gift cards to the face value, even if guests paid a discounted rate of $395. So if you paid $395 for a gift card, they were saying that it was $500.
Yeah.
So, they were doing stuff like that too. And then you know what? Their stocks were really high. Like we even commented before about, they're awfully high.
They are now too, and we've got 3/4 of the company basically shut down.
Right, that doesn't add up.
It does not add up. But okay. What do we know?
So she basically told her supervisors, and they kind of ignored her. So she emailed the then president of Walt Disney World in June of 2017. And she put her concerns in a letter and let him know, because she's probably thinking like, holy crap, there's stuff going on. And I need to let the guy in charge know about it because this is, bad. And then the next day she received an email from Disney Employee Relations that threatened her not to report her concerns about the company's practices elsewhere, or Disney would consider it retaliation against the company.
So she's never seen Monsters, Inc. You know,
Oh, yeah.
where you tell Mr. Waternoose about what's going on, and he's like, "Oh, geez, Sully, I wish."
You're one of the good ones.
Yeah.
So, the Orlando Sentinel said on a number of occasions throughout her career, she reported her concerns about Disney's policies, practices, and procedures. She was genuinely reasonably believed were unethical, improper, or illegal for Disney management.
Yeah.
And each time she suffered harassment, hostility, and retaliation. I guess that was from the lawsuit. Now we know because of what happened with the lawsuit that you're never hearing whatever happened with the SEC or whatever. She was fired. There was a GoFundMe set up for her. Because she had a lot of money lost. She's been facing financial issues. Her husband killed himself.
Yeah, we're going to talk.
Which could or couldn't be related.
The stress
They're saying it is.
Yeah, the stress of that situation. We'll talk a little bit more about that here in a few, including the whistleblower who's helping this whistleblower.
Right.
And her background and what she had to say about her. But according to the Orlando Sentinel, that there was a lawsuit filed Tuesday against Disney-based Disney Financial Services that seeks unspecified damages, including back pay and attorney's fees.
Which would be a lot. And right now, Disney does not have the money to really, be thrown at this.
So do I think it's gonna go? I'm gonna be honest. I don't know, because Disney's even like, it's meritless. They always say
it's meritless. The other lawsuits going on right now with the people with their DVC and stuff, they keep saying it's meritless too.
Yeah, Disney has an uncanny knack of getting out of legal trouble. And well, okay, so here's the thing. Disney can get itself out of legal predicaments because at one point in time, they had the money to have the best lawyers on the planet working for them. I don't know if that is necessarily the case right now, or if they're understaffed. So I guess what I'm saying without actually saying it is, if you've got a grievance with the Walt Disney Company, now might be the time to strike.
That's why I think she is.
Yeah.
Because, now is the time when they're, you can fight them now because they don't have their impenetrable shield up. Even though there still probably is a shield there in place.
Smaug is missing a scale.
There you go. So. Yeah, there you go. That's a better way of putting it.
Yeah.
So, and they had the GoFundMe set up for her. And it was set up for her by Jane Turner. And you're like, okay, well, who's Jane Turner? Well, Kneon found out who Jane Turner is.
Yeah, Jane Turner's not some rando. Now, the other video we did, we weren't exactly sure who Jane Turner was. I just assumed it was a friend of hers. No, Jane Turner is a whistleblower, an FBI whistleblower. She's apparently dedicated her life to helping other whistleblowers. There's a blog article about Kuba on the Whistleblower Network News, and this is what Jane Turner's background is. She was a highly decorated 25-year veteran special agent with the FBI. The first woman named the head of an FBI residency agency. Turner led the FBI's highly successful programs to combat crimes against women and trafficking, et cetera, et cetera. But she was a whistleblower. In retaliation for her efforts, Turner was removed from her position by the FBI. Years later, she won a historic decision for all FBI whistleblowers when the court held that she set forth sufficient facts to justify a trial by jury. And now she's a whistleblower advocate. So she does highlight people who have been wronged.
Right. So it's not like she's some nobody who's just trying to stir
right.
up trouble.
Yeah.
This is what she does. And she herself has been through this. So she kind of understands it better. So she's the one who set up the GoFundMe, which we did talk about
a couple months ago.
Yeah, in another video. And her son's autistic, and her husband is no longer with her.
Yeah. I mean, this is a thing. Like, you can't specifically point to Disney and say Disney made, this happen, but, she's dealing with a lot right now. Her husband did take his own life in March, and her life has not been good. It's not been good. And I can only imagine, knowing Disney's lawyers, knowing how tenacious they are, that she's probably getting threats and phone calls all the time.
Here's the thing. If there was no merit to it, why didn't the SEC just say, no, we looked into it, it was nothing. It disappeared. There was no statement. If there was no merit, you think they'd be like, well, we looked into it and we didn't find anything.
Because there probably is something to it.
Or they're still looking into it, or who the hell knows? But
who knows?
But now she's filing a lawsuit for, basically to get her legal fees covered and to get her back pay covered because of what happened. I think Disney was saying before that didn't they on another, I could be wrong, but I think they were saying before we had like things against her, complaints against her, but then they say that these complaints appeared suddenly after she started bringing up stuff.
Yeah, they were trying to say, if I recall, I know what you're saying. If I recall correctly, they were like, well, basically, she was terminated because her performance wasn't very good, not because she
went up the ladder and in 18 years.
18 years, senior
financial, but yes,
yeah,
we're just that bad at hiring people.
Yeah, so Disney, what's it say about you, Disney? You keep hiring and promoting the wrong people. No, I think she's right, because I'll tell you, just, some of my own observations is that, Mickey does tend to juggle things. And when they're under constant pressure to perform for investors and they're constantly cracking the whip, especially in parks and resorts, which until Disney Plus was, the flagship product of Disney.
It took up the slack for everything.
Yeah, if TV was down, if ESPN was down, they made up the difference in the parks by
if something was down. Yeah, then suddenly the parking rates went up.
Pretzels got more expensive.
Pretzels were 75 cents more, or mouse ears went up $3.
Yeah. That's how they did it for years. And I know the pressure that's on the salespeople, the sales team that work at Disney, it's constant pressure. So could I see them, if they knew there was an exploit in the system, to make it look better for themselves, to keep their jobs? I mean, I'm not saying it's a big coordinated scandal or anything, but what I'm saying is that when people are under pressure to constantly perform, and that you can make your numbers look better, you're going to do what you're
right. And the thing is, she thought, maybe she thought that was the case. And she's like, okay, well, I'll just report it to my superiors. But then they didn't answer her.
Yeah.
So she went over their heads because she thought she was doing the right thing.
Yeah. Well, you're not allowed to complain to Mr.
No good deed goes unpunished.
So that's where things are at right now, guys. I don't think it's going to go away. We were worried this was just going to disappear. The fact that this keeps getting media attention, it's not going away. So Disney's going to have to address it one way or the other. Now, what could potentially happen is they could throw millions of dollars at her to shut her up. And these kinds of deals always have
non-disclosure.
Disney shuts a lot of corporate, not just Disney, a lot of companies, big companies. It's not worth it to them. Disney. It's not worth it to them to take the PR black eye and deal with the legal and have it prolonged out in the media and all that. So they're just like, here, have a couple $1 million, go away, but you can never, ever, ever speak of this again. And I could totally see that happening. If she just disappears and you don't hear anything else about this, and you don't hear anything else about the SEC, that's what happened.
Yeah, most likely. And we saw it with the Onward van.
Like the Onward van problem, just poof, disappeared. Gone. Poof, it's gone. Zootopia, poof. What happened there? We don't know. It's all gone. Mickey's money makes problems go away. Or Mickey just makes people go away. I don't know.
No, I don't think he makes people go away. Money makes the badness go away.
Yeah, well, they're running out of that, so we'll see what happens. We're going to wrap this one up.
Yep.
Okay, so please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.